The Sims 4 base game is free to play, link in the description below. Are you new to The Sims 4? Are you confused about what all these buttons do? Or are you just here for the cheats? Get ready because this is The Sims 4 Guide to Build Mode. Please feel free to watch this video at 2 times the speed, skip through chapters, or find the cheats in the description below. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll do my best to answer them. Now, on to the video. Last week, we went over the basics of build mode, including the difference between build, visit, and create new household. We went over how to change the color of lights and candles, the different lot types, lot traits, and lot challenges, how to cycle through swatches using the keypad, and the differences between the Sims 4 camera and the Sims 3. This week, we're going to start going over the build mode menu. Starting with the search bar, you can type in an item and it'll show you different options for that item located in different categories. When you click on it, it'll bring up the best options. And on the right side of the screen, there is a drop-down menu where you can filter items between style, color, special, content, and packs. Builds on the gallery containing only base game tend to get more downloads. Next, under the build section of the menu, the game usually opens up on styled rooms. Here you can choose between different categories of rooms that are pre-made and new ones come with different packs. When you click on a room, there will be different color options and then you could buy a room to place it on the lot. When you click on a room, you'll get another small menu. Here you can rotate the room, change the wall heights to small, medium, or tall, pick up and move the room, or make an identical copy of the room and everything in it. Now, if you want to get rid of a room entirely, you can click on it again and move the room, then drag it down to this left cell box, and you will get all your simoleons back. The newest addition to this menu is platforms, where you can raise and lower the platforms using these buttons. Beyond the menu, when you click a room, you'll see these arrows on each wall. If you click and drag, you'll expand the room, but everything touching the wall will move with it. If you look at the center of a room, there'll be a cube with up and down arrows. If you click and drag this, it will add a foundation to your house. This can be important when using terrain tools later on. When you click on the floor of a room, it'll give you the option to remove floor, and all the items in the room will move to inventory. If you go to the next floor up, you can click on the ceiling and remove the ceiling. This will cause the room to be open so weather and lighting will get into the room. Next, if you click on the walls, it'll give you multiple options. The first one is to remove the wall entirely. You could also replace it with a half wall or a fence. Under styled rooms, there's an option on the left side to go to saved rooms, which is all the rooms that you have saved to your personal library, so you don't have to open gallery to get to it. The top button will bring you to walls and empty rooms, which you could also find on the house. The first option is wall tool, which you can quick access by hitting B on your keyboard. To use, click and drag. The next option is room tool, which you click and drag diagonally to make a rectangular room. Custom room tool allows you to make a room of any shape you like. Just map out the shape and then double click to finish the room. Now when you have a custom room or any room that has strange shapes like diagonals in them, the clicking and dragging option to change the room shape is not going to do what you want it to do most of the time. I recommend going to the custom room shape tool and making the room the shape you want it, then taking the excess and selling it. If you have extra walls on the inside, you could just knock them down, but if you have extra walls on the outside, removing the walls will leave the floor behind and it will still be considered a room, so you have to pick it up and sell it. To delete walls, you can hit K for sledgehammer and click individual panels or click and drag to delete multiple panels. You can also hold control while using the build wall tool, or you could click on the wall and delete the wall entirely. The next tool is the platform tool. It works like the build room tool where you click and drag diagonally to build a platform. Once again, it should be noted that this is different from foundations. When building a platform inside, it will knock out the walls for some reason. And when saving a room, for some reason the platforms aren't included in the room. This is a newer tool, so it is pretty hard to use. To raise a platform, you can click on the room and use that button that we talked about earlier, or use the platform tool and continue to re-drop the platform till you get to its desired height. If you have a platform in a room, you could get to it by using stairs. Platforms can be used like stairs, however, they can't reach a second floor and they are very slow to use. And I mean painstakingly slow. Since platforms can't reach a second floor, you can use stairs to fill the gap. Platforms are usually used for conversation pits, lofts, or custom stairs. Platforms will also cause a glitch in roof pieces. Typically when you have a roof piece will not go through the room, it will cut off and leave that space hollow. But if there is a platform that is connected to the rest of the room, the roof piece will now clip through the wall. On another note, 2 different houses with different foundation heights cannot connect. There is a workaround where you can delete 2 walls and put stairs in between, but then that leaves the room open to the elements. Moving past the basic limitations, let's go to basements. You can click and drag diagonally to make a rectangular basement, or you can use the custom basement tool. This can be helpful when you're trying to match a basement to the shape of a house, because sometimes it can be hard to tell if the basement is directly under the house or not. When you have a foundation you build a basement, it will cause the ground to be raised up to the foundation level. To fix this, click on the basement and drag the foundation lower. Basements cannot be built below the 4th layer, and rooms cannot be built above the 4th floor. The Walls and Empty Rooms tab also comes with pre-made rooms, platforms, decks, and fences. For some reason, the platforms don't have the exact same options as the other ones. Now on to rounded rooms. You can only make rounded rooms by placing a pre-made rounded room of 3 different sizes. Rounded rooms are even newer than platforms are, and they come with a lot of bugs of their own. If you want to make a full rounded room, you're going to have to shorten the walls and then copy the room. You can turn it by clicking the less than or greater than signs, and when you hold shift, you can place a multiple of the rooms without having to pick it up again. When building walls off of a rounded room, it can get confusing. Sometimes walls will work, sometimes they will clip through and not be counted as part of the room, and lastly, some will be invalid. Rounded rooms do not like to be too close to each other, so they're not good for being used as decks. They have to be quite a distance away to be valid. On the left side, you could choose half walls. The first option is to place a half wall by drawing. This works just like drawing a regular wall, and you could choose different height options. The tallest wall heights tend to be locked because you have to already have the tall wall setting selected for your room. Here's what a tall half wall looks like next to a full wall. One glitch with half walls is if you already have the tall walls selected but you have nothing on the lot, you cannot access tall half walls. The next option is to place half wall enclosure, which works just like building a room. The last option is to replace a wall with a half wall. Find a pre-existing wall and hover over it and then click to replace. Under half walls we have half wall trims. There's 3 main half wall trims. I don't know what the difference between the other ones are because they look exactly the same to me in build mode. There's the regular one with a white bottom and one with a black bottom, and different packs come with special half wall dividers that can be found under trim. Lastly in this category is the platform trims. This adds color and designs to your platforms but is different from foundations. Many platform trims and foundations are similar, but not all of them are the same. Next, let's move on to wall patterns. You could do by wall or by room. By wall will paint 1 tile at a time, while by room will fill the entire room with the same color. The different categories are paint, wallpaper, tile, paneling, masonry, rock and stone, siding, miscellaneous, and show all. The next category is floor and ceiling patterns. These come in the categories of wood, carpet, tile, stone, masonry, linoleum, metal, outdoor, miscellaneous, and show all. These sound different when walked on. Floors by tile let you put individual tiles down and can be placed outside of a room as well. Floors by room will not allow you to place it outside, but will allow you to fill an entire room with the same swatch. If you want the grain of a floor to go a different way, do floors by tile and hit the greater than or less than signs, then you can hit shift to fill the entire room. Ceilings work the same way, just hit the ceilings by tile or room, then click a swatch and the ceiling will show up. You don't have to switch floors to make this happen, but you do have to click on a swatch for the ceiling to appear. If you want your floors to be a bit more interesting, you could choose an accent color and then hold Ctrl and F at the same time to do quarter tiles. I like to use this to make a design on the floor. If this design is within a room and you drag the walls of the room, whatever tiles are directly against the wall will be copied. If you are on a second floor, you can remove floor to make it more interesting. However, when viewing from the first floor, the roof will appear to be invisible. It's hard to have the game set to the second floor showing while being in the first floor viewing, but it is possible. And here you can see a gap from where my platform lowers into floor because it does not account for that difference. The lighting I placed down is now floating, so I'm going to bring it to the second floor. However, if you do that, it will not show up very well on the first floor and you may have to add extra lights. Lastly, if you are making a design on the floor and it's hard to see because of the grid lines, you could toggle the grid lines by hitting G on your keyboard. That's it for this episode of Sims 4 Guide to Build Mode. Next week we will start looking at roofs. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and leave any comments with any questions you might have. Bye!